Morning, guys. It is day 5 of early summer. It's the last day of early summer here on Midtown, and I tell you, we have been something busy. We have managed to bring in a whole boatload of wheat and barley. See there, we've got 210,000 liters of wheat so far and 375,000 liters of barley. We've got one more wheat field to harvest, and we've already got some guys down there working on that field. It is field 17. So our harvest crew is back at it early this morning. So we got our harvest crew. We've got the grain truck and the harvester. We're going to be working over with the field prep crew, prepping field 14 for replanting. So we're going to hop on in our rather dirty POW truck. We've got our Porsche seed and fertilizer tender on the back, and we've got a load of seed and fertilizer in there. And what we're going to be doing is we've got staged up there a fertilized spreader. We also have a cultivator, and we've got our seeder up there. So we're going to see if we can manage to get that field seeded today for before the end of the day. And we're going to be putting soybeans in there. So let me go ahead and show you what we've got. So we went ahead and I think when we last were talking, we were putting corn on field 1, I believe. So we have corn on fields 1, 2, 3, and 4 now. All of those fields have been harvested. We harvested our barley on field 14 just yesterday. Here we go. We were working on field 17, our wheat. And field 13, this canola field is ready to come in also. So the rest of the fields are in various stages of growth. So we have that going on for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we're going to plant in soybeans, because if we look at our planting schedule, today is the last day that we can plant corn. I think it may be a little risky to try to put corn in there. Because if we don't manage to get it all in before the end of the day, any new corn that we put in there after midnight will be lost. So we're just going to take the safe bet and put soybeans in here. Or we'll try to replant this barley field with soybeans. We'll probably try to put in soybeans for our wheat field that we're harvesting now, and we'll try to do soybeans in the canola field. First thing we need to do is get our helpers working here on the fertilizer. And just kind of lined up and started. Make sure we're running fairly straight. I'll fire him off. And now we're going to go ahead and start our cultivating. We don't need to so we got a course set up for this guy. No, we're not going to harvest. We're going to drop this down and cultivate. I'm going to set up GPS on this. And we're going to do a little bit of cultivating for a little bit of period of time. And then the plan of action is basically to fertilize this whole field in the harvested, with the harvest stubble. Then we're going to come through and cultivate this field. And once we get this field probably about 80% cultivated, we will start our fertilizer spreader again, and we will spread fertilizer back on the cultivated field. And once we get the fertilizer spreader starting on the cultivated field, we will start planting our soybeans. So at any one point in time, we could have up to 3 workers on the field helping us out here. Of course, our fertilizer spreader will finish long before our cultivator will finish, and our fertilizer spreader will finish long before the seeder finishes his pass. But it does let us kind of double up and get some extra work done. We are done straw. There's more straw on this. We have more straw than we are going to need for the next game year by far. So we're just spreading the chaff out behind the harvester for our wheat field there. No need to bale that up. In fact, we've got, see right down here, we've got a barn we put up here at the BGA to store some square bales. Now we also have, let's go ahead and spin around here. Like we missed a little bit of barley. We also have put up a second barn down by the pellet factory. So we've got, you know, a whole lot of bales in the pellet factory from field 1, I believe. We've put bales in a barn from field 4 and field 2, and then we also have the bales in that barn, or in a second barn, from field 3. So fields 1, 2, 3, and 4, we have straw bales either in the pellet factory or 2 storage barns close by. The bales that were part of field 14 here are stored in that barn down there, and we took a load of bales down to our storage area for our cows and eventually our pigs. So we've got plenty of straw, I believe, to hold us for the the foreseeable future for sure. So we're just going to let that go into chaff, and we'll use that. We'll cultivate that in, and it will be a little bit of fertilizer for us. So we're going to kind of just do some field work. I'm going to kick it into high gear here and just do a little speed cultivating and do a little cut and come back once we're ready to start our fertilizing again. Hey guys, we just got our fertilizer spreader started again. Our cultivator is almost done, so we went ahead and asked one of our hired helpers to go ahead and take that over for us. We're going to jump in our big bud here and get to putting soybeans in the ground. Then we're going to finish the day off with one final fertilizer pass to get the field up to 3 stages. Clouds are starting to roll in here, and there's rain in the forecast for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and take a look at that forecast. See, we've got ourselves a fairly wet middle summer here. I'm not sure what we're going to be able to get accomplished, and it's one of the reasons why I really wanted to get the bulk of the fields harvested in early summer. Putting our beans in the ground. So, you know, we got rain tomorrow. We got Friday is sunny. So I suspect Friday we will be working our canola field. And that's the last field that we need to... well, that's the last field that's ready to harvest today. Tomorrow, when we transition to midsummer, it's quite possible some of these other fields will come harvest ready. But then again, they may not. It's hard to tell. Our poplar field down there, you can't see it, but our poplar field down there is doing really well. And I suspect it could be ready to wood chip anytime. As is our wheat field down there. Little old field, is it field 5? It's also, you know, going to be ready to harvest soon. And then we're going to switch that around and put poplar back in there. So we've got poplar fields down there, both 5 and 6. So, yeah, that's the kind of the plan. Then we got to kind of play it by ear as to what we're going to be doing days 8, 9, and 10 of mid-summer. I suspect we may be you know, working down here at the compost mill, making up some compost. We're going to have to, well, we're definitely going to be transitioning field 17 over there from harvested to put soybeans in it, and we're going to be transitioning the canola field, field what's it, 13, over from canola to soybeans. So we still have a fair bit of fields to get flipped back around for our late fall harvest of soybeans. So we've got plenty to keep us busy, that is for sure. As you can see, our fertilizer spreader is working obviously faster than we can seed or plant, and it has a larger working width, so we don't have any issues with starting off right behind him, because he's going to be able to continue to pass us. Looks like we're done our cultivating now, so that is good to know. And we could possibly go ahead and take him over and get him started on field 17. Get him started cultivating on field 17. So that is something to be thinking about, and is something that we may very well just do. That is what I'll go ahead and do. I don't want to put any work off that I don't have to. Kind of live by the mantra, don't do tomorrow what you can do today, or don't put off today what you can do, or whatever, however that saying goes. Basically saying that if you have a chance to do the work now, go ahead and do it, because you may have, and you probably will have, more work to be done later. And if you put it off now, you're just going to put yourself in a bad state at a later point in time. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this guy around. Let's shut our lid. We're going to turn him around and start him on another pass. And then we're going to jump in our cultivator, run him over there, and start him cultivating the field. He will be able to cultivate and stay ahead of the harvester and stay ahead of the grain truck. That is an almost definite fact. This guy turned around. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, the clouds are definitely rolling in. It's getting dark. And we've got our cultivator now working over there. Look close, you can see him changing the textures there. So he's running at 9 miles an hour, and our harvester's running at 6. But I believe our harvester has a little wider working width. And I also think he's got a big enough head start that we're not going to really have to worry about them running into each other. But we'll just keep an eye on those. Got our fertilized spreader here working. So he's about done. And well, he says he's done, but he's not. Let me be right back. So we've got almost the whole field seeded or planted in soybeans. I don't know which is the I guess the proper terminology for soybeans. And getting ready to fire up our fertilized spreader yet again. And we're going to go ahead and fill him up. He's about half a load. Go ahead and fill him up. Let's see here. I guess the door is open on the seed side. So it took me a while to figure out how to do this. Apparently the K button will switch doors. There we go. Now we are filling our fertilized spreader. Right. Get him going fairly straight. Hire him out. Now let's go over here. And we'll cycle. So. Apparently I can dump it too. I didn't realize that until I was trying to figure out how to get it to open the other one. Let's go ahead and put some seed in here. There we go. I don't know if this will empty this thing or not, but at any rate. So we get this filled up with seed, we will finish off the field. Almost. Look at that. Boy, do we have to clean our truck. Great demand for corn. Well, lo and behold, I don't have any corn. It's not yet. Go ahead and get this locked in and fire it off. So I am banking that we'll be able to finish off this little bit of the field before our fertilizer spreader makes his way over here. Just have to see how well we do that gamble. You can see way over there we are still ahead of our cultivator. In fact, I actually cut the cultivator off a little bit ago, just because he was getting a little bit too close to the harvester for my comfort. Given the fact that the harvester needs to stop every so often and unload, I didn't want him obviously over passing the harvester and then basically destroying all the crop. So that's what we'll continue that cultivation maybe in the morning, because I don't see our harvester being able to finish that whole field there in the next few hours either. So I suspect that was going to extend into tomorrow, and hopefully the rain will hold off. It got pretty cloudy there for a while, but it looks like the clouds have cleared out of the way, and sun's back a little bit. Go. Yeah, I think we're going to be good with this seeding before the fertilizer spreader gets here, simply because we only got probably 1.5 more passes after this one. Then we'll be done, and we'll have a late autumn soybean field done. Okay, so we're going to put soybeans in that field over there too, once that field is harvested. And when we come back next time, we will be working on the canola field, which is over there on the other side of the drive-in and on the other side of the milk plant. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please click the like button, and please think about subscribing. We do Let's Play videos on this map every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We are playing until the end of autumn, and then we will be transitioning over to another map. We started this map in late spring, in year 1. We're now into our 2nd year on the map. And, oops, we're not going to play through winter, through a second winter. We're going to kind of work through harvest. And the way we're going to work this closing, unlike Churn Farm, where we basically sold everything off and liquidated all of our assets, this map we're just going to stop, and it's going to be as if you know, we're handing it off. You know, all the equipment, all the grain, all the animals. It's just going to be a move on to another project, as if the farm is working. You know, is working through and just continuing on without us. So that's how I planned on ending this particular series. There's the canola field over there. Let's go ahead. Pause here. Let's just kind of do an interesting back swing thing. Back up and kind of swing around. Let's see if we can't. Go. Turn our GPS off, because we're not going to obviously need that anymore. I want you to also think about checking out, if you could, check out PCSG or the Three Dudes Gaming Network. Both are really great web communities. They're both here to help you out and answer any questions you might have. Basically point you in the right direction on any questions or issues you might have. They're got talented modders on both websites. If you got questions about mapping, questions about modifying a mod, or anything like that, please feel free to go over there and ask them some questions. Or if you just got general gameplay questions, they're going to be able and willing to answer. Unlike some other communities where, you know, the first response you get can be rather put-offish. Be like, well, go figure it out yourself. For example, I'm not going to name the site, but I asked a question recently as to what was printed or what was written on the on a sign on a picture that was posted, because it was kind of hard to read. You could only see part of the first word and, you know, a couple little bits of the other words. And, you know, I was a little put off because the answer I got was, well, if you open the image full size, you can see it because it's written on the building. Okay, so that was real helpful. Thanks for that, because clearly you knew the answer, and you chose to just be a little smart butt and not actually tell me. So that's the kind of stuff that you're not going to get over at PCSG or 3 Dudes. That is pretty much a guaranteed fact. So that's just kind of an example of kind of things that go on at other sites that would not occur at PCSG or 3 Dudes. Got that done. We're going to set this up to go back to the farm with us. And until next time, guys, happy farming.